2K TV, we have Stanley Johnson.
I want to go deep in the playoffs this year. I think we can do it. I think we don't get the.
I'm coming home. New York City, baby. I'll be honest, I'm pretty excited. Mama, Pops, and Cece, yeah, they're going to be there. Playing in front of them in the NBA uniform for the first time is going to be a special moment for me. Now, I know all of Harlem's going to be watching. No pressure, right? It's all good, though. I've been waiting for this my entire life. And I'll be ready.
Brooklyn, the home of the Nets, in a fine Eastern Conference affair here at Barclays Center. This road trip for the Celtics kicking things off here in this one. Guys, when you compare their performance last season to where they sit right now, not a whole lot different story. Not necessarily a big surprise either.
I guarantee you what, guys, the adrenaline is already flowing on both sides. A rivalry matchup like this means a little more to the players.
Here's Turner. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Last season, the Celtics had a solid 19-22 road record, Clark. Not the 500 mark most teams want, but a very good effort from a young team, and no one really expected that.
Yeah, and you think about this team that's still growing and has a lot of youth. I mean, that kind of road record, very impressive. Their fans should be feeling pretty good about what the future holds with this group.
And here we go. Fast break. Freak's got it. Outside Turner, the tray. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
It's still early, but they've started to establish themselves on the glass here.
Yeah, scrappy, Clark, for each and every rebound. They are not backing down.
Young against Lee. Shots good from Young.
And that's just showing off right there, guys. I mean, he is too good with that crossover.
Freak passes to Lee. Smart kicks to Turner. There's 48 seconds left to play in the first. And the basket good.
What do you do with that guy? With his handles, he abuses defenders.
Nets trail by 3. Here's Sloan. There's a screen by Robinson. And Sloan kicks to Larkin. Beyond the arc. The rebound by the Celtics, coming off that loss against the Nets.
And in part because I just thought they came out flat in that game and could never recover. Just not their best effort.
And I thought perhaps they might get an injection of life from somebody off the bench, but that never happened either. Not much the defense can do once he gets to the bucket.
Here's Sloan. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Here's Young. Some solid defense from Johnson. No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first quarter. Celtics out in front, up 5. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Brooklyn. And Celtics head coach Brad Stevens lured away from a very successful tenure with the Butler Bulldogs. He talked about the challenge of making that decision.
The only hard part of that decision is leaving a place that you really loved for 13 years. I couldn't have left without knowing that it was a place that we were going to stay together and really commit to a process together. And I was sold on that, and I continue to be sold on it.
I wonder if Coach Brad Stevens feels like he's recruiting another college class with all those draft picks lost in his stockpile.
Well, I don't know how he would address that question, but I do know he's feeling real good about his decision. I mean, taking the Celtics to the playoffs in just his second season, I mean, I think he's one of the bright coaching stars in the NBA today. It was the NBA's game and college basketball's loss.
Here's Freak. 5-point lead, the biggest of the game. On the wing, Turner. The pass to Smart. Freak kicks to Lee. That's tipped. In transition, here come the Nets. And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spot. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Celtics.
You know, they've done a great job of getting a hand up on shooters. Actually have gotten a lot of blocks as well, solidifying that defensive effort.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
Freak dishes to Smart. To the middle. Lopez with the steal. Here's Sloan. Pass to Lopez. He with the block. Now here's Freak. He's guarded closely. Screened by Lee. No one near Turner as he lets it go. Good, and Smart gets the assist. Turner's got the lead up to 5 now for the Celtics. Brooklyn's gone 2 for 5 from three-point land since the end of the first. Well, David Lee with the Golden State Warriors began his career with the New York Knicks. We're talking about him and his play, and it's sometimes hard to get a good compass on what kind of player he is.
Yeah, you know, he was drafted 30th when he came out and certainly played above that draft slot. Then when he re-upped for the 6 years, $80 million, people started to wonder if he was able to play to that value.
Smart kicks to Lee, and the layup is good. And it's a 7-point Celtic lead.
Outstanding entry pass there. He knew exactly where to go with the ball.
Here's Larkin. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Lopez a screen. Block at 6. And the shot no good, a bit short.
And getting back to David Lee, before the big contract, he was putting up some huge lines. I mean, he was the first Knick to go 30 and 20 in a game since the great Patrick Ewing. And he became the first NBA player to record at least 35 points, 20 rebounds, and 10 assists since Kareem back in 1976.
Nets trail by 9.
And they can guarantee this is the last possession of the quarter if they hold it.
And I'm guessing that's exactly what they're probably going to do here.
Here's Larkin. There's the feed to Lopez. They need this, and he gets it to go. Lopez has got 4 points this quarter. And so that brings the first half to a close. Celtics lead by 7. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Well, David, obviously a very strong first half. What's been the philosophy of this team and how you mentally set your focus as a group to come out and play your best basketball?
We should keep being consistent, and we're a team that's going to stay humble. That's not an issue with us. We're trying to play defense, rebound the basketball, and then just share the ball in offensive way as a team.
David, it's been a complete change in culture. Thank you for your time. Over to you guys.
Thanks, Doris. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter started.
All right, men. We've done a good job in the first half of taking the momentum and being assertive with our style of play. I definitely can't find any fault with the way we shot the basketball. Our shot selection has been just like I hoped it would be. We're putting up some very efficient numbers, gentlemen. One thing that's helped us, we've had some nice blocks. That's been a real momentum changer. It's important to keep up that intensity. The pace of the game, just to bring that up real quick, isn't a huge concern because I think we're suited to play at any speed. But somewhere in the middle of the tempo spectrum would probably be ideal. And that's all I wanted to go over with you. Let's go play a good half of basketball.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment.
Talk about being on his game. Look at the numbers for Bradley. He's got 11 points, and 4 of his points have come at the foul line. He's made the most of those opportunities.
And you can't undervalue the importance of that. Many times a game comes down to which team wins the free throw battle.
Second half underway. Here's who Brad Stevens got on the floor. The Brooklyn Nets come into this one after a win against Boston.
And you know what? Exactly what had to be done in terms of winning on the road. Never allowed any momentum to build up against them. Kept the crowd out of the game. And for every punch they took, they had a counter.
I was very impressed, Greg, with the way they stood their ground, even when they were on their heels some, coming through those moments where they were backing up a bit. That's what it takes on the road. You got to show that kind of fortitude and resilience.
Now Smart. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Kicks it to Freak. That will count. And no good trying to get that one. Some impressive scoring, and we still have 1 quarter to go. Who will gain the upper hand in the fourth? And will return shortly. And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter. And if it's anything like the first 3, we should be in for a treat. The Nets shooting 43% from the floor. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. And Brooklyn looking who they've got. Thomas Robinson is out there with Hollis Jefferson. Then it's Brook Lopez. Then it's Donald Sloan. And it's Larkin in at the point. Outside Turner. The dish to Freak to take the lead. The shot is off. And Brooklyn will now go the other way with it. Here's Sloan. Pass to Hollis Jefferson. And the go-ahead bucket, no good.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it. And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, free throws are always better than a layup, so I'd agree with you there, Greg.
And Evan Turner is one of those guys, he just gives you a little bit of everything. I mean, he can play multiple positions, handles the ball, he can pass it, shoot it. Kind of a Swiss Army jackknife who uses multiple tools to his advantage.
A big group substitution here for Brooklyn. Thaddeus Young. He's checked in for Thomas Robinson. Johnson comes in for Hollis Jefferson. Wayne Ellington's checked in for Donald Sloan. So it's both teams making substitutions here. There's a minute left in the fourth quarter of this one. Well, Greg, for Evan Turner, the one area where he can still develop in a big way is with the jump shot. Clark, 28% from 3 last season. Really is not going to make it.
Yeah, that's been the one stain on his game, the lack of that deep shooting ability, but everything else he can do. He can handle, he passes, he rebounds, but to be an elite player, he's got to be able to knock down that 3-ball better.
And guys, looking at Jarrett Jack, one word comes to mind: professionals. I mean, he's as solid as they come. Tough, capable, experienced, and he proved it all again last season.
Talking about Jared Jack, he is especially dangerous at the end of the game. Not only does he make great decisions, Clark, he was a top 10 free throw shooter last season.
Yeah, experienced, tough-minded ball handlers and shot makers are always valuable, especially when it's winning time.
There's 39 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Picked by Lee. Turner passes to Lee. Solid shot from the distance of about 14 feet.
Well, guys, they came in here and really took charge from the opening tip. This is such a tough thing to do for a visiting team. This contest was played on their terms.
And, you know, that's not the way it usually works in the NBA. It's going to be a great win, and you know it's going to be a happy plane ride out of here for sure.
Clock at 6. Lopez a screen. Larkin. Lopez inside. And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And that about wraps it up. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching. And we send you now over to Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaq and the Jet as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Avery Bradley. He just put it completely out of reach in the fourth quarter. It was as if he was saying, okay, enough fooling around. I'm taking over now.
His accuracy from the field was pretty eye-catching. I mean, if he was shooting the ball, it was going in. You rarely see a performance like this with this crazy high shooting percentage. Wow.
Anytime you deliver that sort of production we saw from him tonight, you're going to put your team in position to win. He gave them points in bunches, and when they needed them. It's not always about how much you get, but when you get those points up on the board.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me and Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.
What a life, eh, freak? 1 minute you're playing 21 and horse on the courts in Harlem, and the next moment you're in the showroom, configuring the gunmetal and graphite exterior of your luxury car and your iPad mini. Oh, I bet you get a crazy crowd when you drive that car around the block in the old neighborhood, huh?
Yeah, living the dream. Bad pandemonium. But folks from back around the way are real proud of me.
Yeah, I hear you. Local kid makes good. You know, it kind of reminds me of when I took my tech stock public and I rang the New York Stock Exchange bell and my mom's friends called her up and said, Maggie, is that your son on Bloomberg News this morning ringing the bell? And my mom says, yes, sirree, Bob, it was him. That was a great moment, freak. And you know, our lives are like a pearl necklace of great moments, all strung together with the finest silk thread of memories. And we have to be very careful how we cultivate those pearls and we thread that necklace.
Does this meeting by any chance have to do with Vic Van Leer?
I grew up in the burbs, freak. I wasn't poor. upper middle class, comfortable. My daddy worked as an accountant for one of the largest insurance firms in the country. Smart with his money. Mom didn't have to work. I went to boarding school. And my dad died of a heart attack when I was a freshman at MIT. I was a movie geek, wanted to be a civil engineer, but I made my fortune by becoming a hybrid of both those interests. My dad didn't want me to be an accountant. Oh, listen to this. My best friend was a guy named Isidore. Yeah, we called him Izzy. He was one of the smartest human beings I have ever met in my life. I mean, Izzy was taking second-year college calculus courses as a high school sophomore, right? Straight-A student, full ride to MIT. Izzy had the world at his fingertips. But he was always looking for trouble, and trouble found him. He ran with the wrong crowd. And when we got to MIT, he got this great job working for a financial consulting firm in Boston. But every weekend, he would fly to Vegas. You see, Izzy had a system for counting cards in Vegas that had the big casinos on the Strip. Oh, stymied. He would come back to MIT with suitcases filled with $200,000 in cold cash.
What?
Yeah.
So your man Izzy was getting hit off like that?
Like a fat rat in a cheddar cheese factory, freak.
Okay, so what happened to this dude Izzy? Because he's dope.
No, not dope. Dead. After he'd been missing for 3 weeks, the Nevada State Police never found hide nor hair of Isidore. And our friendship took a hit when he asked me to hang out with him in Vegas, and I said I wouldn't do it because I knew he was on a dark and twisted path in his life. And yes, he was my dude. But no way was I gonna throw my life away trying to show my loyalty to a guy who really and truly didn't understand what loyalty was all about.
So this meeting is about Vic.
Correctamente.
Okay, well, sir, Vic isn't Izzy.
And why's that, freak?
Well, for one thing, you and your dead friend Izzy didn't grow up poor. Me and Vic grew up in a neighborhood where we had to look over our shoulder every 2 seconds to make sure nobody was going to walk up on us and rob us.
True. Izzy and I did not grow up in the hood. But we, like you, thankfully grew up in a 2-parent household. But even that wasn't enough for Izzy. He wasn't satisfied. He was always looking for a 5-alarm fire when he already had the warmth and comfort of a loving family. This is not about class warfare, freak. This is about the consequences of making bad choices and risking it all when you feel like you have nothing to lose.
Vic is like a brother to me, sir.
But you shouldn't be Brother Vic's keeper, freak. Would a brother go looking for trouble and put your career and your livelihood at risk by getting into fights at nightclubs and seedy after-hour joints and then scream to the media, "Yeah, it's all good, I'm an FOF, friendo freak. It's all misunderstanding. Y'all be haters, don't hate my game." I don't think a brother would do that to someone they really cared about, but a guy who looked at you like a meal ticket would.
No. See, you don't understand Vic.
Really? I don't understand.
No.
Look, man, it was a misunderstanding with the guy in the next VIP booth. His honey started flirting with me, so naturally I started flirting back. Next thing I know, Captain Cornball's off my grill piece beefing. Next thing he know, he got a 2-piece and a biscuit on his left eye. Hey, I don't know who hit him, and it damn sure wasn't me. Hey, Captain Cornball's mad because I'm an FOF, friend of freak. Hey, but check this out, though. He needs to train that hottie before he leave the house, though. Yo, he's hot as ain't loyal, man.
What's there to understand? Are you freaking blind? You know, I just want to know, how much did you pay your lawyers to make all this go away?
Almost $100,000.
Excuse me, son, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said I paid almost $100,000.
Exactly. And if you keep riding shotgun with Vic, you're gonna go broke. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Look, Vic is my friend, and I grew up with him. How many times I gotta tell you, sir?
Freak, this is not a request. I am not asking you to do this. I am telling you to do this. And the first order of business is that Mr. Vic Van Leer is banned from traveling with you on the road. Vic is banned from the locker room. And Vic is banned from this arena. And if I catch this guy, Vic, in or anywhere near the facilities, Mr. Vic Van Leer will be arrested for trespassing.
Are you serious, sir?
Brother, I'm as serious as cancer. We all know that can be deadly.
You know, when me and Vic were kids, playing summer tournaments at the Dome, we always imagined making it to the pros, right? And after the crowds left, just a street light was on the court, like 11:30, 12 midnight, even 1 in the morning sometimes. We used to practice player introductions, running on the court, giving dap, high-fiving the teammates. Vic, he would act as an announcer. You know, he would introduce me, announce my name on the loudspeaker, and the Jumbotron would flash my image like a little guy dressed in long shorts and a jersey. And now, fresh off his 3-game, 62-point scoring streak, the youngest player to ever do so in NBA history, Frequency Vibrations. So me and Vic would sit in those empty bleachers at the Dome and dream like nobody's business. And now I'm living a dream. For real. And in so many ways, Vic was part of that.
Please, listen to me. I mean, I know this guy's your dude from way back.
Look, me and Vic go way back like the front seats of a 67 Cadillac.
That's good. We go way back. Did you say front seats?
Front seats of a 67 Cadillac.
We go way back like the front seats of a 67 Cadillac. Well, Jiminy Crickets. I'm going to be the hit once again at Herbie Allen's Sun Valley Shindig because my fellow billionaires love it when I walk and talk that talk.
So that almost sounds...
No, let me tell you exactly what it sounds like. I respect, admire, and most importantly, love you as a human being and a role model. But I pay you a lot. And I mean, I pay you a lot of money to play for my team. And I am in this game to win it. And you can't win it with an albatross around your neck like Vic. So Vic is done. History. And here's some more lingo that I picked up from a former megastar who used to play for me several seasons ago. Thought I would never release him until I did. And now he's the sixth man on a struggling team in Venice. And yeah, I'm talking Venice with the canals and the gondolas and Harry's Bar, not the street ballers next to the fortune tellers on the beach in Cali. This guy used to tell me when he thought there was a player destroying our team, don't be a hero, cut that zero. And that is what I am telling you about Vic, freak. Don't be a hero, cut that zero. The only thing Vic brings into your life is headache and unwanted and unnecessary negative attention. And it will begin to affect your mindset. And when it affects your mindset, it's going to affect your play. And when it affects your play, it's going to affect my team. And when it affects my team, it's going to affect my money. And if it affects my money, Google Translate will become your new freaking friend. I want a championship ring, freak, and I want you to help me get that ring. And banners after banners hanging from the rafters in this arena. So, freak, hear me clearly and hear me good. V-G-G, Vic, gotta go! Handle your business. And remember, that contract you signed contains a morality clause, a very important clause that revolves around your conduct on and off the court and how it can negatively impact my team. Now, I don't want you to have to learn Italian or Croatian as a second language. And hey, playing pro ball overseas, there's nothing wrong with that. But the arenas are nothing like this, nor will the money be the same. And on top of all of that, this is the U.S. of A., the greatest freaking country in the world. Ask yourself, is Vic worth all that? Think about it. Think long, think wrong.
Tell you about Vic. He has his bad rap. It's not, and I understand some of his judgments might shadow his actual character. He's not that at all. Man, Vic, let me tell you something. We actually, we have love for each other. We're brothers. Blood couldn't make us any closer at all. I mean, he has so much loyalty to me and to my family. You could see even Cece, has issues with him, but he still loves her. He still loves her.